We've been wanting to create this video since the day we purchased this RV. There is so much information online about purchasing your first RV. It can actually feel really overwhelming with the YouTube videos, a ton of vlogs, all the Facebook groups there are to join. We spent months researching and we fell down a few rabbit holes. But of course, we had the worry that I'm sure you do if you're also in the same boat, that you just don't want to buy a lemon. You don't want to make that mistake, be on the road and things are breaking down on you. So now that we've been on the road for the last few months living in this RV full time, we feel confident that we can help you out if you're also in the market. Now, before we start this video, I just want to give you guys a macro view of the process of buying your first used RV, and that is research, reach out, inspect, and buy. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on researching and reaching out. So first things first. You gotta get clear on your budget.
Now, Casey, that thing must cost $1 million at least.
Now, something that we actually recommend is staying within a more conservative budget just for your first RV. You wanna make sure that whether you're living in it or camping it just a few times a year, you wanna make sure that you enjoy the lifestyle.
I mean, you can do your homework, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna figure it out until you've had this thing for a while and you know exactly what you need. So buy cheap.
We personally went with a used RV because A, our budget was $20,000, and B, we learned that there's a huge community of RVers who actually purchase an RV, use it pretty lightly for 1 or 2 years, and then they trade that in or sell it used. So that's actually what happened to us. We got an RV that was in tip-top shape. It was only a few years old, and we got a great deal on it. Now, another thing that is not always said, but it's so important, is you want to decide on your budget and then subtract $3,000 to $5,000 from that, and that's the actual number you should spend. So for us, $20,000, we subtracted $5,000 from that, and we made sure to stay within that budget. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have all these beautiful additional expenses that you're not gonna expect. And I'll show you guys ours right now. You basically want to give yourself a big cushion for all the additional stuff that's going to come up down the road. If you're buying a rig that already comes with a built-in generator, propane tanks, and maybe the previous owner is giving you a lot of essential RV gear, you may not have too many additional costs.
This is what I'm talking about. We're finally going to be riding in style.
Okay, so now we want to share a massive learning with you guys that has totally changed our understanding of RVs. The majority of RVs are built using extremely cheap materials.
I pointed to the process of building an RV, that it's a very manually intensive process and hands-on versus the automotive industry, which relies heavily on robots and computers for fit and finish and assembly.
It doesn't matter if you buy a $20,000 rig or you buy a $100,000 rig. All of them come with their issues and have to be maintained over the years that you have them.
Unless you're willing to go with a small boutique manufacturer that can monitor every step of the assembly process, or a super high-end brand that's generally outside the budget of most shoppers, you're not going to be guaranteed that any one brand is going to be superior to another.
One of the common complaints among RVers is the inconsistent quality control and the high incident of having to get things fixed, especially when you buy a brand new RV.
Oh,
We thought if you bought a really nice make and model, it would last you longer, but that's just not true. And we've spoken with people who just bought a $130,000 rig and they're having problems 6 months in. We've had little things that have gone wrong that we've also had to fix, and basically it's just part of the lifestyle. So we recommend don't get caught up in trying to find the perfect rig. Just try to find something that is well within your budget, meets all your needs, and is actually gonna fit your lifestyle. Understanding the different types of RVs. All right, so this might sound a little cheesy, but I want you to imagine yourself actually being in your RV. What is your lifestyle like? Are you on the road all the time? Are you doing just a few trips? Or are you living in it? Are you somebody who is maybe retired and really wants to spend more of their time cozy in their RV?
A growing number of older Coloradans are giving up their homes and going on the road to live.
Or are you somebody who wants to go explore and you want to be outside hiking all the time, being out in nature and doing those types of things? Here are the 5 major types of RVs. Class A, B, and C are your motorized RVs. There's no unhitching necessary. Many come with automatic stabilizers. However, these rigs do depreciate faster than a towable RV. And just a quick note, if you go the Class A or Class C route, you may want to consider towing a separate vehicle just so that when you're hooked up at a campsite, you have more freedom. Fifth wheels and travel trailers. You're gonna need a truck powerful enough to tow them. You'll need to unhitch it from your truck, and they do tend to depreciate much slower. But our favorite thing about owning a travel trailer is how convenient it is to unhitch our truck and explore. Class A. Are you wanting a bus? These are usually between 30 and 45 feet long. They require a bit of a learning curve to drive them, and they are the worst on gas.
Get out from under the vehicle or I will run you over.
Though, you're not buying an RV for great gas mileage anyways. But if you like large and in charge, maybe this one is for you. Class B. Are you wanting a van? These are your small camper vans, your decked out Sprinter vans, and then you have these very luxurious 25-foot models out there that we'd love but can't afford. Like the Unity, the Wonder, the Serenity.
We're gonna tour my 2020 Winnebago Travato 59KL National Park Edition.
We did van life a few times around Iceland and Australia, and we really liked it. But we knew that with this, we were gonna be on the road long term. And truthfully, I don't wanna be living in a van for that long.
In a van down by the river.
Class C. These are like the smaller sibling to the Class A. They're built on a truck chassis and range between 20 and 32 feet. Again, we were looking at a Class C, but we really saw how much they depreciate in value, and we knew we wanted to do a lot of things in nature that our Class C probably wouldn't be able to go. A trailer or fifth wheel. Are you wanting an apartment on wheels? This is the route that we chose, and we are so happy that we did. And I know I said this earlier, but we love having the freedom to unhitch and just go anywhere that we want to go.
Plus, this is on wheels, which means I can hook it up and be gone in 12 minutes.
Hitching and unhitching does take a little bit more time, but it's something that you quickly get used to. There is a little bit of a learning curve towing a trailer in the beginning, but if you want to test out RV life without a big financial risk, then the travel trailer route is great. But hey, if you decide to go the trailer or fifth wheel route, be sure to check your truck's GCVWR, okay? It's not just about your towing capacity. KYD did an awesome video on this, and it actually helped us so much when we were first looking. We're gonna link that up below and down in the description, but we actually followed along one of their videos and did all the math, so if you're interested in that, check the description.
Oh, that's an RV.
So now that you know your budget and you have an idea of what type of rig you're looking for, now it's time for you to know exactly what to look for and which questions to ask the seller. That way you can arrange an inspection. Now this part is important because you want as much information as possible up front before you waste time or money going and seeing it. Here are the 7 things that we paid attention to when looking for a used RV.
Put your hand there, just touch the furry wall. Stay with me, be calm, be calm.
Your RV's design. This is gonna be your floor plan and the interior design of the rig. Now, the only thing you have to worry about here is you want to get a rig that is gonna be conducive to your lifestyle. If you're somebody that plans on spending a ton of time in the kitchen and you want a lot of counter space, or maybe you're gonna be traveling with kids and you need a lot of space for them, or maybe you're like us and you just need an area that you're gonna be able to get a lot of work done, that's all gonna matter in the floor plan. Now, for the interior design, what matters here is, are you gonna feel comfortable and happy living inside of it? For us, the people that owned our RV prior, they did a lot of things to basically remodel it and really made it feel homey and modern. And that was honestly a really big selling point. And I tended to look for remodeled rigs because I knew that I wouldn't have to do it myself. Rig size. So this isn't just about the space inside that's gonna fit your people, pets, and things. This is also about, are you gonna feel comfortable towing it? Okay, for us, when we first found out this is 28 feet, we were like, oh my God, it's so big. Looking back, we needed this much space for 2 of us. The other side of it is, are you gonna be able to fit into the places that you wanna go to? For instance, national parks, they have size regulations. Also too, different RV parks, With a bigger rig, you're gonna need to book a bigger site, which could be more money. So just don't forget, it's not just about having enough space on the inside, but it's also about towing it and making sure you can actually get into places. The title. You want to make sure that the seller has the title in hand. If not, you might face some legal troubles later. And another thing is make sure that the name of the seller matches the name on the title.
My name's Alan, Barry Allen, United States Secret Service. Your boy just tried to jump out the window.
Damage. So you not only want to make sure that the rig is in good condition, but you also want to make sure that you ask about anything that's going to need to be done to the rig that's going to cost you more time and money. Now I'm going to show you guys up on the screen the questions that we asked to make sure that the rig was in good condition. Has there been any water damage? Are there any leaks? Have the ceilings and seams been recently sealed? Have you been in any accidents? Have you had anything replaced? Have you ever had any big problems with the RV? What's the condition of the tires? And does anything need maintenance now? I'm sure in the comments we'll also get some more people telling us the questions that they asked, and that's great, but these are just some of the basic questions that we asked because it also opens up a nice line of conversation to see if you can trust the seller, if they're willing to give you all of that information. It also shows that you're serious. Also, we already told you guys we're not talking about inspection in this video, but if you want more information on what you need to do when it comes to inspecting the RV, there's this guy here on YouTube called Playing with Sticks. We watched his video and we're so grateful for it. I'm gonna link it up here, but we're also gonna put it down in the description below, but be sure to check that out. The number of owners. This is something that we didn't even know to ask. We were told by a friend, make sure you ask about the number of owners to see that it hasn't been bought and sold too quickly because of too many issues. So just be sure to ask them about their RV's history and you'll be able to tell right away. If they're super upfront with you and they let you know, you should be good. But if anything feels fishy, I'd stay away.
What is this place?
Pan America Airstream. 34 feet 7 inches long. 8 feet 5 inches wide.
All right, so these last two are going to be for used motorized RVs only, starting with the engine and the mileage. When we were originally looking at Class C's, we made sure to ask these questions. How's the engine doing? Are there currently any problems with it? Have you had it serviced regularly? And do you have the records of everything that you've had done? This is important because you obviously want to make sure that the engine isn't going to poop out on you while you're driving. Now, when it comes to asking about mileage, this is going to range for everybody, but for us, because we knew that we were going to be traveling for 1 year and then we were going to try to sell it, we were given this advice. If we were going to just look for a gasoline engine, we were going to look for rigs that had no more than 40 to 50,000 miles on them. If it was a diesel engine, we could do about 100,000 or so. This matters to us because, again, we wanted it to have a good resale value. If the miles were going to be too high, it was going to be way too hard for us to sell. And of course, diesel is best for sellback. It also lasts much longer, but it's also more expensive and just wasn't in our budget. And lastly, the generator. So most Class A, B, and C's all come with a generator. You want to make sure that this thing is working well, especially if you plan on doing any boondocking or dry camping, because that's going to be your main power source. So you need to make sure that they ran the generator monthly. Another thing, as a newbie, I had no idea about is the hours that are on the generator. This is totally going to vary based on the age of the RV, and we were told that anything with 12 to 50 hours on it per year is a good sign. And they do say that Onan or Onan, I don't know how you say it, is one of the best to look for. But if you're going the travel trailer or fifth wheel route like we did, and you're looking for a generator, we have a video on that, one that we found for under $1,000, and we love it. So I'll link that up here and also in the description below. We got the Predator 3500. This is a long video. I hope it's really helping you newbies out there. All right, now to show you guys how we actually found our used RV online. Now, there are a million ways to do this, and truly there's really no right or wrong way, so I'm just gonna show you how we did it. So basically, for almost 2 months, I would check RV Trader and Facebook Marketplace. I started out just kind of scrolling every day, just getting an understanding of what things were going for and what we could actually afford. And then with time, I started getting better at using the filters. You want to use the filters because it's going to save you so much time. So let me start by showing you RV Trader. Okay, first things first, just click the search button. Don't even worry about filling out any information just yet. Now, click on location. Make sure that you put in your zip code and how far you're willing to drive. For us, we put nationwide actually because we had this crazy idea that we would even drive all the way to Florida. Looking back now, I don't think that we would do that. The second part is the type. We were looking for Class C's and travel trailers. Next, the year. We put in 2005 to any, and that was because we didn't want anything that was going to be older than a 2005 model. Now for price, this is something that we played around with a bit. The reason being, anything under $13,000 was truly not going to meet the standard of RV that we were looking for. And we put $20,000 because we really truly are looking for a rig that's going to be between $15,000 and $17,000. And we're hoping that by buying from a private seller, we'll be able to negotiate a cheaper price. And that's it. So once you put all those in, you don't even have to push search. It's going to automatically update for you. Then you can go to the sort by area and you can pick how you want this to be sorted. So now I have 3 listings pulled up that I just want to show you guys the difference. So this first one, $15,000 for a 2018 Coleman. They have a lot of photos, which is really great. And now I'm going to scroll down and see that they have a ton of information that they have supplied me with. They don't, however, mention anything about the title. And there's a few other things missing, so I'm gonna message them, maybe say, hey, is this still available, and then list some questions that I have. Okay, now we have this 2015 Keystone. Also looks really nice. However, let me show you the difference between this listing and the last. This one is being sold by Evergreen RV Center. So this is an actual company. So I'm no longer dealing with just a private seller. So I may not be able to negotiate, be a few $1,000s cheaper. And in the description, that gives me 0 information. And that means I'm really gonna have to get some follow-up information from them. And lastly, I'm gonna show you Facebook real quick. So this is gonna work similarly to RV Trader, where you have these filters that you can fill in on the side. You're also gonna wanna obviously look at location, that's the biggest thing. But basically the main difference with Facebook Marketplace versus RV Trader is this is a free marketplace. So anyone can just create an ad and show that they're selling an RV. Where on RV Trader, you actually have to pay a monthly fee, which could mean that the seller is a little bit more serious. Another thing is you obviously have the Facebook profile of the person that you can creep, and I definitely do it because I want to make sure that I'm going to feel comfortable meeting this person to buy their RV. So that could be a plus for you. Now I'm just going to show you guys a few listings that I clicked on. Again, you're just going to want to make sure that you ask good questions, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. We know entering the RV world can feel a little overwhelming and daunting, but really it's super exciting and it's gonna give you freedom. We hope that today we were able to give you some clarity and confidence in your first purchasing decision. And if you like this video and you wanna see more like them, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.